Right, all right, all right. Let's get this here. Okay. I'm going to be monitoring the chat from my device. Now, let's go for this. So, welcome to the show, guys. Wanted to show you a quick chart. Not quick, my shows are not quick. There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot going on. And we definitely want to talk about all of those. So those of you, I can see KR here. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So those of you who have been waiting for a live, I'm really sorry. I haven't had the time, but today I've rushed home just to do this live. And then I realized there was an update on the laptop. So I had to do the update. That's all over now. Let's look at the crypto and let's see what's going on, right? Because that's very important. I mean, right now, the situation we have in this market, and I've already done some of the stuff while I was waiting for the update to complete, right? I'm going to show you. Let me get rid of the drawings for a second. Let me get rid of a few other bits and bobs. I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to get rid of this. I'm also going to get rid of this, right? What I want to show you is the structure. It's very important. A lot of people may maybe looking at today now. I know I'm late, bro. I was waiting for the update to go through. Now, what I'm saying is, look, a lot of the people would be looking at the market and saying, look, guys, we've come down here. We're about to push up. And you know what? Yes, it's true. We are definitely going to push up. But when you look at a bigger picture and when you start seeing certain things, you need to understand, like, okay, hold on. Are we in a particular zone where we can actually be bullish anymore? Well, what's happened is, and I'll just activate the drawings for you. In fact, I'm going to take some of these drawings off because I will redraw them. I'm not going to save these because I want to keep these are my actual buy orders, guys. So I'm not going to just get rid of these lines for whatever reasons, okay? They're not permanently going anywhere, remember. So I'm not saving anything here. I'm just going to show you on this video. This video could be a reference where you could come back and then we can see what we go on. I see Raki here, also my brother. Good to see you back in business. I'm always in business, bro. It's just a matter of perspective. The thing is look, what I told everybody, and a lot of people don't understand this, right? I mentioned this so many times to people on all of my videos. I said, guys, there's a time when you reap the rewards, and there's a time when you go work your balls off, right? Basically to accumulate as much as possible. And there's a big reason why I've left this line, and I'll show you this in a bit, right? So while we're doing this, I want to show you this drawing, right? So here we are. We have a situation where we've gone beyond this particular area here, and I hope you guys all could see this, right? So we've gone beyond this area, and this is our 2017 bull run high. The moment we fall below this, right, there's no ifs and buts, right? This is our free zone, bonus zone, or whatever you want to call it. Now, everything is okay there. Even hypothetically, we said, look, guys, we could even potentially come down to this 16K, whatever. And I'll show you another data which shows you this as well, right? And we were looking at this particular zone here and said, look, this area here looks like a very good area. And we could easily come and have a bounce here because we can see that this was a nice little zone here. So I'll just put it around here somewhere. So we can see these areas where this could be our range where we would bounce. But we have another problem. Once we start coming and testing these lower levels, the probabilities start to become higher for us to test these levels. And this is 2019 peak. This is 2019 peak. So that's the situation. When you start looking at this, the probabilities higher. Now, I did do a video the other day, and I mentioned everybody when we started dumping here, because all of this, when we started pushing towards this, and I'll let me make it larger, guys, just to show you, right? So when we started moving this market and started becoming bullish, and we created this particular zone here, right? So when we started moving up, doing this, right? We went here and we started doing this. That was a lovely little range. And what I want to show you, what I mean by range, if you look carefully, if I just put this here, all right, and then just bring this down here, look at this. It's like a perfect wedge pattern. Of course, nobody predicted that this thing was going to shoot down. I was expecting this to move up. I didn't expect it to fall below the 21-day moving average, which is exactly what happened here. This is on a daily, guys, so you can see this on a daily. And this is exactly what happened. This was the worst thing that could happen because we were looking so bullish. We were looking to go and test this 50-day, break this 50-day, and then shoot up. move and start becoming higher. We didn't do that. Now, I left this this particular zone here because this is significant, right? So when we looked at the entire market while we were in the bear market and slightly coming down, we put this area here as our most strongest support area. And I'm going to read the comments in a bit, guys. Carry on, just write whatever, and I'll read them in a bit. So we looked at this and we said, like, guys, this is our strongest support zone because look, we've had, we broke through here. We had one touch point here. We had a few touch points here. If anything happens, we should bounce back from here, and then things will start looking positive for us. And when we start saying positive, what we're talking about is, look, we've had this trend here, we've come down, do whatever, doesn't matter. We've come here, for example, this was our low. We've done this, which is absolutely fine. Then we've come down, say if we did come back down here, and then we shoot up. This is a continuation pattern, if that makes any sense, right? So for me, this would have been a continuation pattern, but it didn't happen. Instead, what happened was this, right? So we came down, we bounced here, we done a high, all-time high here, and then we came here and we kind of confused everybody. We came here, but this area here was not higher than this area here. But so then we started crashing down here, and then we look bullish here, and then we crash down here. We've done this, and we're currently sitting here, right? And I want to stop here because it's very important. You need to understand where we are right now. So when we're looking at this market and we say, right, guys, look, this is all bearish. And of course, everything is going to indicate it's bearish, right? All the signs we're going to get is going to be bearish. And for us to really understand this, I'm going to move time frames. I'm going to go to weekly, right? Because you can see what I'm talking about. Like, the data here is like, whoa, look how bearish we are. Oh my God, we're going to go, this is going down. It's going to go down even further. And all of this is saying, yes, it is going to go down even further. In fact, if you look at the stochastic RSI, right, look at this. It's left the red. So it's left the lagging indicator, and the leading indicators already come down here. But, and this is the big but, I think yesterday Bobby mentioned something on, what's it called? Bobby mentioned something on Discord, right? So Raki says, okay, we'll talk about it. Raki's asking me a question. We're going to ask this. So he said, like, when there's fear in the market, be greedy. And when there's greed in the market, be fearful. So when we were pushing towards the high 65, 68, 69 level, we were fearful. We were very fearful because a lot of the things just did not add up. I kept on saying it's not sustainable, right? Now, of course, we came crashing down, tumbling down. And, during the pandemic, they printed a lot of money, which is still not sustainable, right? So this is another thing that's not sustainable. It wasn't sustainable. It was something that was going to come and impact you at a later stage. And I think people are feeling it right now because it has to be recovered one way or another or rebalanced. So it wasn't unsustainable. And then now what we've done is we've come and we've made a few things that people will talk about in the future. In the crypto history, we've done a few things, right? But I've seen this pattern before. I've seen this pattern quite a few times. And I mean, if I show you something, this would be really fascinating, right? So I've seen this pattern quite a few times. In fact, if I actually move over to the monthly, you can see where this pattern constantly plays out. Look where this pattern played out. January 2015 or 16, 15, I think it was, right? Look where we are right now. And if you look again here, you can see December 18. Right, where we hit those lows are the lowest you're ever going to get to. We've hit that. This is just after a bull run. So this is 16. Yes, it must be 16 because I haven't got my glasses and I can't see. So after a bull run, when we hit these bottoms, right, when we hit these bottoms on this RSIs, right, not the stochastic, we're talking about the RSI. And I think I just realized something. You guys cannot see what I'm talking about. Give me a sec, guys. Right, here you go. Sorry, I was doing my thing and you couldn't see my cursor. I just realized that. Sorry, my bad. So you got the cursor now. Okay, so the situation that we had was this particular area here, right? So the cursor should come in. The videos on a lag, so I am watching myself as well because I'm actually watching the thing. What do you call this? For God's sake, the chat. Sorry, I'm just tired. Anyway, so this is after a bull run. So you see the bull run peaks here, the 2015 first peak, down, second peak, and then we crashed. Right? That's what we did. We did this. And this, you're looking at the RSI, by the way. The yellow line is the RSI. The blue and red is a lagging and a leading indicator on the stochastic RSI. So you can see where we came, right? This is January 2016, just after a crash. Here we are. And then same thing happens here in 2017. We crash all the way down. The bear market ends. And look, January 2019 was the confirmation where the bear market ended. And look, funny thing is, this is exactly what I've been banging on about. 2020 was not a bull run. 2019 was a bull run. You can go back to any of my videos right from the past, from the beginning of this channel, and you can see I've been banging on about it. The 2019 was when the bull run started. And this is confirming the 2019 was the bull run. And then look where we are right now. In fact, we've come for the first time in history, right, since the launch of BTC, we've actually gone below, right? We have actually gone below every line we've ever had, right? Let me make it larger as well. My God, you want to see this? Look at this. It's, yeah, I'm sure you can see this. Let's get a white line anyway, so just so you can see, right? Look at this, guys. First time we've actually gone below. I mean, you can't be any more confirmed, or whatever you want to call it. I mean, nothing in this world can say this is like the golden, if not the diamond opportunity for anybody to go in. And I'm not giving anybody any financial advice here, guys. This is just me just doing my analysis here and just showing you the facts on the chart. The facts on the chart says, look, we've had this low in one of our bear cycle bottoms, right? So when the bear cycle started here, we came and we had this bottom, then we started moving up. We had another bear cycle here, so we had two, so we can compare one with the other. Because remember, Bitcoin's only been around 13 years, right? And in the 13 years, or close to 14 years now, that we've had it, the initial trading, initial data that we have here started printing from approximately 2011-ish, right? Of course, we have some other hypothetical data and blockchain data that has been put there to give us the beginning date, but the trading volume, the exchange volume can only be shown from the date it was actually launched on the exchange. I see Bubble here, also my brother. So we know we've had two significant bull runs, right? So we don't count the first one, we're counting the main bull runs, right? So this is 2013, we don't need to count that. We'll count the major bull run, 2015, the second major bull run, 2017, the third major bull run, right? Actually, this is the 2015 bull run, my bad, 2015, and this is the 2013 bull run, right? The point I'm trying to make here is we come and we hit these bottoms and we repeat this pattern over and over again. Okay, and then things change a little bit in around January, what do you call this, 2019. Anyway, we also had something change here in May 2022. Look at this, June 2022, where we actually peaked below our RSI. We've never done this before. This is the first time in history we've done this. So in the future, we can actually use this as a data point. Right now, we've only had one, so there's nothing to compare it to, because this too, we've shattered it, we've broken it, right? However, stochastic RSI is doing fantastic. If you look at this, I'll put a line on it. This will totally make sense to you. Look, stochastic RSI holding absolutely perfect. I'm not concerned about that at all, right? But this is some data I just want to show you. Look, where RSI is, and of course this is on a monthly, right? We're looking at monthly, guys. This is bigger than anything else. This is not your weekly, anything like that, right? Because if you start looking at weekly and everything, there's a bit of a mumbo jumbo going on. I wouldn't look at this, right? Because there's a lot here. Also on a weekly, if I was to do some lines, I would be looking at these lines here. This is a very, very important line, right? In fact, actually it was here. This was the area. So we did peak above, which was bullish, and then we got rejected. We came down again. Absolutely fine. I'm not concerned about any of that at all. Because look, if the market wants to trend down, it's going to trend down. But what we need to do is understand that when is the time? Because we always moan about, everyone moans, right? You know, when the market is too high, they're like, oh, we missed the boat. We missed the boat. You know, when's Bitcoin ever going to come back down to cheaper prices? Then Bitcoin becomes cheaper. It's like, how cheap do you want it? And if it's at 50K, people say, oh, I wish I had it at 20K. Well, now it's lower than 20K. Guess what? The very same people are not going to enter because now they want it even cheaper. And what happens is while they're waiting for it to be even cheaper, they will end up missing, right? So we know that this, and you can't really get any cheaper than this based on this RSI. And I'll put it on a monthly again, or even 2 weeks actually is okay. It's not too mumbo jumbo, so it's fine. So you can't get it any cheaper than this, guys. You cannot get it any cheaper than this. You're below the 40 level of the RSI. This is like the diamond zone, the golden zone. Okay, and of course now you've got on the 2 weeks, you can also see how the 2 weeks is starting to become bullish. The signal we're getting on the stochastic RSI is bullish. This is a 2 weekly signal. Each line, right, this blue line here, confirms every 2 weeks, and so far we've been getting bullish signals. This, yes, it's bearish. This can come down all the way up to here, and it will come down probably all the way up to here, but then it moves back up. So you're going to have a week of bearishness is confirmed, right? All the charts are confirming all of this. In fact, all of this is confirming that, yes, look, you know, if you look at this current candle, it wanted to move up and it's been pushed back down again. You know, in fact, I'm looking at it right now. It just plunged to 16,000 something right now. Yeah, 16,300. So it's bleeding, right? You can see it bleed in front of you. I mean, you just make it larger just to show you. Actually, on the daily, it will look better, but it is bleeding, right? The point is look, they want to take it up. It just doesn't want to move up right now, you know. But should we be concerned about any of this? Ideally, I would say no, because remember, this is our bonus level, right? So I know a lot of people might say, well, hold on, how can you be bullish, right, in a market that's bleeding? I can be bullish because I still understand that, okay, this has happened. We've gone below this zone here, this particular zone here, where we were not supposed to go below this. Anything below this was our golden opportunity, a golden zone. But we're still inside this golden zone right now. Let me just move it just to show you. Right, there we go. We're still inside this golden zone. Now, what happens when we move out of this golden zone and we enter this particular area here, right? So I'm just going to randomly put it here. Actually, it's approximately here, and you can see what I'm talking about when I move this over, right? So when we put it here, what do I, you know, for me, I see this as the diamond zone. Is it really going to go any lower than that? I doubt that. I doubt that, right? In fact, it's actually holding another specific trend line that a lot of people would not look at, is this trend line here, which is pretty fascinating that, you know, BTC actually, you can even put it here, but let's put it here. This is exactly where we are right now. This is on a larger, mega larger time frame. So I don't want to confuse anybody here. But what I'm trying to say, look, the data so far is saying, yes, it could come down, right? And it should come down, and it will come down, right? There's so many variables here telling us that it has to happen. Number one, we fell below the 21-day moving average. So we have to come down. We know that's a must. We fell below this is the exponential moving average. We fell below the 50-day moving average. We have to come down. We were below our 50% mark. We have to come down. We broke this support. We have to come down, right? Now we need to start building structure. And this is one thing we are lagging right now. We do not have structure. This was not structure. All of this you see here, this is not structure. This is not structure, right? This was almost structure, but not enough, right? Because what we need is a lovely little sideways momentum, something to move us sideways. But the problem is everybody wants it to be over today. And that's where the problem is. You can't have it over today. You need to build a strong base in order for you to move up. And so far, we haven't had that. That's the problem. Right? We actually have not had that. So that's a bit of a situation I see, a bit of a problem I see as well, right? You know, we haven't had that. And so for me, I'm concerned about that. Also, I'm going to read some comments now, and then we'll talk about other stuff as well, because I have seen other crazy stuff going on. So let me read this comment and see what's going on. So I see Raki says, I just need to ask you one question. Is BTC done? Is crypto done? I'm still holding lots of crypto, bro, and I'm stupid enough to get FOMO. Okay, is it done? The question is it done for the end of the bull cycle, or sorry, bear market? That's what I'm explaining. I mean, if you listen carefully, I probably already answered your question. Is it done? It's probably done bleeding. How far is it going to bleed? You know, just a little bit more. But whatever the case is, this is something that, you know, where we are right now, it's some massive data for us. When we start looking at this in a complete different perspective, right? When we start looking at this at these kind of moves, what we see is look, this is a continuation pattern. So the next move will be like this as well. So if you start measuring these, that's when things start making sense, because it's all about the bigger picture, right? It's all about this. Like, look, we did this down, right? We came down, what, 89%. That's what it's about, right? I see free energy. Also, my brother, nice to see you. So you see, we did this 89% down, right? Now we're going to do a next one. We're going to do this one here. And you look here, you see how much we were down. We were down 79%. It's all matter of perspective, right? So was BTC done here? Yes, BTC died. Literally, everyone killed it. Here, BTC died. I mean, in fact, it died to the point where it went from, 1200 to 150, 60, whatever. And everybody said that that's it, end of BTC. So it died. It's died 1,000 times, right? So, when you look at where we are right now and what we have done now, right? 79%. We're just repeating this same pattern over and over again. That's all we're doing. So are we done bleeding? Yes. Is there a little bit more left? Absolutely, right? Absolutely. What's left, and I'll tell you what it's going to be. People are going to be left behind. That's what's going to happen now. So that's what's not, BTC's not done doing that yet. BTC's left people behind here, left people behind here, and, kind of left people behind here, but it gave them a reset. Right now, we want to start measuring on the way up, and we want to see what happened here, right? If you start looking at this is what BTC did this on this run. But I don't want to give you FOMO on this. That was a 10,000, but there's a difference between this and this, where we are today. We're not going to see those 10,000 moves, right? When you start looking at what BTC did this particular round here, for example, on this particular pattern, it was only 2,000, right? And then what we're expecting on the next one is a fraction of that. It's a fraction of that. I'm not looking for some crazy numbers anymore, because those days are gone. But I hope this kind of makes sense to you, that if you look at continuation patterns, right, then this is where we are. Now, where would I really be concerned, right? And I'll tell you, this is so crazy. If BTC came back down here. I mean, guys, that's literally it. Done scenes of, was it a Ponzi? Yes. I mean, it's always been a Ponzi. It still is a Ponzi. The biggest Ponzi we've ever had was obviously Ponzi himself. What was his name? Something Ponzi. But what his system did, right? What you have to understand, look, too many people give credit to Ponzi, right? So whatever his name was, I forgot his name. Something Ponzi. But his multi-level marketing system is a scam, right? But they give the Ponzi scheme to the credit to his name. But I'll give you a good example. Sam Bankman-Fried done the biggest Ponzi ever, and no one's going to call him a Ponzi. They're going to say, oh, he's just a big exchange collapsed. Or he's an idiot for using his own funds to do whatever. No, he took people's funds. That's the key here. He actually took people's funds. So that's what's been going on, right? So when you start looking at that, it will make total sense to you that the biggest Ponzi, if there is one, I don't even want to, give credit to Ponzi, because it's not Ponzi. His system is different. His system is bring the money in, right? And then keep on bringing more money in and get those people to get more money in, and then use those money to pay everybody else. So you funnel it down, right? And the person on the top is constantly stacking more money. That's the whole idea. It's building a pyramid, right? But pyramid, where you're on the top, you're making the most amount of money, and it filters down. And the more people you can get, the more money comes back in. That's what a Ponzi is. MLM, multi-level marketing system, the professional name they give it now, is a Ponzi scheme, not crypto. Crypto, BTC didn't even ask you for a penny. This is one of the reasons why it's actually classed as a commodity, right? Because, not a security, because it didn't ask you for money. Nobody asked you for money. Satoshi didn't ask you for money. Nobody. It was freely available for anyone who is willing to contribute to the network. It is impossible to class this as a Ponzi or a scam. Impossible. Have people done scam with it? Yes, absolutely. Plenty of people. There are people right now who want your BTC. Then you got to ask yourself a question. Why they want your BTC? If BTC is a scam, then they shouldn't be asking for your BTC. They shouldn't be after your BTC. But why do they want your BTC? And the biggest people out there who want your BTC and who are going to claim it's a complete scam are the people in power. So it's not your average Joe. People who have the capacity to fund certain attacks and whatnot and this and that are people in power, or at least with some significant amount of wealth already behind them. Why do they want your BTC? Right? So these are questions I can leave you with, and it's fascinating. I mean, once you start understand how things work, it's just so crazy. But as I said, crypto, yes, 99.9% of crypto is a Ponzi, right? When we start looking at the crypto coin market cap or coin gecko, and we start looking at the 21,000 or maybe 22,000 coins right now, or assets or whatever we want to call them, 99.9% are scams. 99.9% out, easy scams. Why? They're copycats. They realize that they can launch anything and some fool from somewhere is going to go and give them money. But did they actually do anything Ponzi in that relation? No, they didn't. They just know that we throw this and someone's going to buy it. So do you blame them for not doing your own research? Because there's a lot of coins I get, viewers, and I got community members who come up to me and say to me, bro, have you seen this? Bro, have you seen this? Bro, have you seen this? Sometimes I look at it, sometimes I can't be bothered. I'll be like, oh, I'll look at it later, Because the thing is I'm like, right now, I have other priority. I have priority to make sure I acquire as many big one as possible. Because market could go either way. I want to accumulate as much as possible. When it goes up, when it drags the entire market up with it. Because remember, you're looking at this, right? For example, let me give you a good example. You're looking at this right now. Now, if I change this to total, you're going to see the same structure. Look, total, take a screenshot, total, and overlay it. Boom. It's the same thing. What Bitcoin does, the total does. So we know as for a fact, when Bitcoin is going to start moving back up again, it's going to bring everything up. So 21,000 coins will all move up. And if they do move up and some of these scammers out there decide to, exit scam or whatever, is it really a Ponzi? Don't think so. No one told you to give them the money. You chose to do it. And they're not taking the money to give it to other people, right? I mean, let's see. So projects that come out, collect funds off you. This is a really good one. So I create coin A and I say, you pay me your fiat B. So you pay me your fiat B, I will give you coin A or whatever. You give me your coin B and I pay you give you coin A. You take that coin A and try and sign up a few more people and get them to the community. I'll give you coin B as a reward. Basically, I'm telling you to buy my coin and I'll give you your money that you paid me as a reward back to you. That's a Ponzi. Definitely a Ponzi. That's how Ponzi's work. Raki says I'm not going anywhere. Bro, hodl. Makes sense. Awesome. One more advice as a friend, not a financial advisor. I'm not a financial advisor. I haven't sell any crypto yet because I'm already on loss and doesn't make any sense to sell them. Exactly right. This is what I always say. So yesterday someone mentioned something on, or was it today? I think I read something and someone said, it was KR. KR said something about like, I'm down 90% or something like this, right? And I said, actually, you're not. The only thing is down is your value. Your valuation is down. Your asset is still your asset. So if you had to start with, you had, say, for example, 10 Ethereum, or you had 1 BTC, your 1 BTC is still 1 BTC. Your 10 Ethereum is still 10 Ethereum. It's just worth a little bit less, right? Worth a little bit less in your fiat currency. Nothing else, in your fiat currency. So, and these are things that happen all the time, right? Where we get confused, and I've said this so many times as well in my previous videos as well, in like early videos that I used to do. I used to say this as well. I said, guys, never ever think of crypto in monetary value or crypto value. Choose one. You either say, I've got £100 worth of crypto, and then you can say, I've lost it. Now I've got £10 worth. And that just says to me, you're not a crypto, you're a fiat guy. You're in it for the short term, you're in it for the money, and that's why any dips in the market affects your money. You're a crypto guy. You bought 10 crypto. Market goes to zero. You still have 10 crypto. Market goes to 1,000,000. You still have 10 crypto. A crypto guy doesn't care about what happens to the monetary value. Now, of course, we're all in it for the profit, right? So the fiat guy comes in and says, well, actually, I have $100. I want to invest for 10 years, or I want to invest for 5 years. And I always say this to people, always invest money you can afford to lose and for at least 5 years. This guy comes in, he blocks it up, puts it away for 5 years. He is actually doing better than the guy who bought 10. So technically, because he's not worried about the money. He's got a time, he's got a plan. So there's a guy who bought 10 crypto, and he's like, I still have 10 crypto. Even if I go to zero, I still got 10. That's my asset. And then you've got a guy who says, oh, I've just lost 90%. And then you've got a guy who says, well, I'm entering for 5 years. I'm willing to lose this money. 5 years later, I'm exiting. He's a man with a plan. He's got a strategy. So end of the day, people like that would always do well. Right, let's see what's going on. It's fine. Listen, the coins that you mentioned, like you're talking about Gala, Matic, Ethereum, BTC, Sandlinks, Solana, FTM, Engine Algo, and some other top coins. It's fine, right? Listen, when you pick coins, you have to have conviction in that coin, right? So if you believe in those coins, by all means. Every season, what I do is one thing, right? This is quite funny, right? I start the season off with BTC, all right? Then I filter into a bit of Ethereum. So this is how my whole thing starts. So step 1, BTC. Step 2, Ethereum. Step 3, all the shit coins I could possibly find. And they're top quality coins, but I still call them shit coins. And I'll pick them up. And then I'll plug it in, like 100, 200, 1,000, 2,000, 10,000, whatever. Just plug it in. And then guess what? I just wait. When the market peaks out, I start exiting. Last season, I did a mistake where last season, I took the BTC out first, and then I started coming out of the rest of them. But this season, what I'm planning to do is, once my BTC buys are done, once my Ethereum buys are done, my plan is to pick up some of these altcoins. I still call them altcoins. There's only one crypto, Bitcoin. Everything has an altcoin. So I'm going to pick one up, and I'm going to ride it all the way up. But while I'm riding it up, I am going to start taking maximum out. So before, what I used to do, if I used to double my money, I should take the original out, my initial. I'm going to play a little bit more risky, but I'm not going to take out the initial. I'm going to go all the way up to what I feel was comfortable. I'm going to cash out all the way. So I want to cash out on my alts before I do my BTC. So let's see what happens. Yeah, so that's what I want to do. But just pick your coins, stick to your coins. That's what I'm always going to say. That's the most important fundamental thing that one could tell you is, when you pick your coin, you stick to that coin. You don't mess around, right? That is your coin. You don't mess around. You hodl that coin, whatever happens. Now, some coins will make you money. 9 out of 10 could fail, but all you need is that one. All you need is that one to go up. There's a strategy I was talking about with one of my clients the other day. And we were talking about how during this particular, and this is funny, this is just before the crash, by the way. so this is something we talked about just before this crash happened, right? So we were somewhere around here, and he popped in and he's like, dude, come and meet me. So you guys may have seen that I'm driving around a little bit doing far distance, so I'm going to see this guy basically. And he asked me, he said, what's the situation like, if we invested in a particular, so he wants to invest in low cap, mid cap, and some large caps as well, but he wants to invest like in penny cryptos, right? So he's thinking, right, what's the best strategy for me to invest into penny cryptos? Well, you just buy $100 worth or £100 worth, money you can afford to lose. You never invest money you cannot afford to lose, full stop. If you can take a lighter and burn that money today, that's money you should be investing, full stop. Because 99% of the time, you're going to lose money. You only need that 0.1% of the time for it to win. So right now, where we are at a high risk, right, which means we could potentially go down, we could move up. If you bought $100 worth of everything $2,000 worth, $3,000 worth. The potential for that to 100x, maybe 200x is a lot high, because you're right at the bottom, market pushes it up. You can easily do 100x. I mean, yesterday we did, I think it was yesterday, the day before, Trust Wallet token, TWT. CZ just sent a tweet out, and the damn thing pumped like 70-80%. Imagine, that's like almost 100%. That's almost 100%. That's a 1x. If it's 100%, that's a 1x. And believe me, some of these can do even more. I do use KuCoin, Raki. I do use KuCoin, but currently for the bear market, I haven't really been using it for any alts or anything like this. I've only used it to buy some BTC, because I needed to have some open orders to pick up some crypto, and that's all I did, bro. So I just picked up some crypto. Other than that, I didn't really use KuCoin for anything else. I was going to do it, use it for a show, but then the bear market came in. All the liquid funds that I had, all the coins that I had, kind of got wiped out and everything. So I'm not really that fussed about KuCoin. I explained to, I see Ruben, awesome, my brother. Nice to see you, my brother. Looking all goldish. What's going on? I love that icon. So what I've been doing is during the bear market, especially, right? So because I'm not in alts, if that makes sense, right? So I'm not in alt. I don't concern myself with exchanges. It doesn't bother me. I'm not in the exchanges. And when my orders are fulfilling, immediately I'm picking up what I can, and then I'm moving it off the exchanges anyway. So to be honest, other than buying BTC, buying some Ethereum, I haven't done anything. I'm just holding some USD, loose USD technically, in some exchanges, the loose change basically from after the buys. But other than that, I don't use exchanges, if that makes sense. You know, when the time is right, I will start going back into exchanges and buying alts. And if I do, I'm going to hold them onto the exchange. But at the same time, I will always have a sell order set up so they execute and they exit me as soon as possible. So that's the key here. Right, so this is what I'm looking at. Anyway, guys, let's go back to one other thing now. So we've obviously talked about BTC, we've talked about patterns, we're looking at weekly, we're looking at monthly, we've looked at the RSI, we've looked at the stochastic RSI. Now I want to give you a bit of a shocker. Because yes, we've talked about what the market is doing right now, what the potential of the market is, right? Where it could possibly come, right? So we have talked about how it could potentially come all the way to this particular range here, right? Easy, it could come here. It could even top up down here. I'm not concerned about that. I'm not concerned if BTC dips down and comes all the way down to 7K, 8K. I don't really care. Honestly, it doesn't matter. I know a lot of people really worry about that. It doesn't matter. For those who understand crypto and for those who are buying an asset to protect their future, they cannot ask for anything better than here. I know people would say, oh, well, I wish I bought some here. Well, you're getting some here. And do you think we're not going to go there? Believe me, we are. Believe me, we are. Right? Because some of these things we see, like this is on a weekly, right? And I'll show you a good example here. Like if you just put this here, for example, right? According to this, this is where we were supposed to be. If we fall below this, then we're coming here. The next level brings us down here. This is according to this only on the point, say, for example, if we start coming down, right? So this is on the downside. This is nothing more than downside. Now, if we change this a little bit and we do something quite different, we go to the top and we bring it to the bottom because we want to bring it to this particular bottom here, right? Then guess what? The next level for us is 100K. Now, very simple. Actually, this probably is too big, right? This is too big. Let me do something smaller, right? Let's go to the top of the market. Let's just bring it to current price. So that way I'm a bit fair, right? You can't say that, oh, he's not being fair. He's taking it back all the way back down here, 2018. No, I'm going to keep it here. I'm just going to put a line here so everybody understands where we are, right? So you can see this particular area here. Now make it larger, right? 106K, right? 106K. Very similar to the others. The Fibonacci's don't really change much, right? You know, this is a pattern in the nature. It doesn't really change much. But from where we are today, if we pump, we go to this. A lot of people are not wired enough, I would say, right? Are not wired enough that if we pump from here and we went up to this Fibonacci, because we are going to go to that Fibonacci, when we do, how many percent you make. People are not wired up. That's a 500%. That's a 500%. If we came down to, let's find this area here. Right, this is what? 7. Let's do a nice moderate one. Let's do, here you go, 8,700. If we came down to 8,700 and we reversed the market from here to here, that's a 1,000%. Many people would not even understand or cannot even comprehend what this means for the market. I mean, we did 2,000% on the last cycle and we're about to do 1,000% here. These are numbers, guys, that you need to look at. So as I said, people who are in crypto, for what crypto would do to your life and the potential, and who believe in crypto, right? Or believe in let me rephrase that. People who stop believing in fiat. Crypto is for people who stop believing in fiat, right? And I think on that note, we're going to go to fiat because it's very important. Fiat is very important. So I've been monitoring fiat for a long time. And this is what I see on fiat. And believe it or not, this actually scares me. This actually really scares me. So this is good, right? When it comes down. So if we started coming down, right? You know, we've come below this. This is good, right? If we come down even further, even better. This is good for USD. So understand where I'm coming from, guys. I'm going to go on a monthly just to show you bigger data. Right? This particular area here is 1986, by the way, 86, 85, right? So I'm showing 1985. Some of you have probably been born at that time. So this is when this data is from. This is when we, what do you call this? The US dollar was performing at its best, at its peak, and we did that just here. Just recently, we actually did come all the way down here, but it didn't last for that long because other countries' funds have caught up, right? And when we talk about other countries, for example, if we see the reverse of this on GBP, for example, this is what happened, right? So GBP lost value and it started moving up, right? I just sent you a chart on Discord, brother. So you sent me something on Discord. I'll have a look. Let me check. Hold on, what's you sending me? Let's have a look. Let's see what you're sending me. So this is what I'm concerned about, right? I'm concerned to the point where if BTC can't hold, if US dollars cannot hold, and it starts going this way, it looks positive. This means more money, by the way. This means more US dollars coming into the market. If this situation happens, more inflation, more tax, more whatever, everything brings it positive. It loses its value. It's losing its value against against the pound. And you can see at some stage, right, this thing was $2 to a pound. That's how bad it was. Can you see? I mean, once upon a time, it was even worse. When it first came out, you can see it was like $2.60 or whatever it was, right? So the situation is okay, so what's this chart? Let's see. So yeah, I don't know if you can see, there's a chart this brother's showing me. So let's have a look at this chart. Panic or capitulation. Okay, I like this. So I'm not sure whose this was, but he's showing the ABC form with the Fibonacci on it as well. Of course, he's got his stochastic RSI and RSI. Brilliant. Actually, do you know what? Here we go. We can bring it up so everybody could see it, right? And there's an update. Always there's an update. Everything has to update. Why can you not stop updating? Just stop updating everything. Right, I'm gonna wait for this. Let this thing load up. Then what we'll do, we'll bring it in, and hopefully I can show you the chart, because it's pretty interesting what it's showing. But I'm just showing you dollars, guys, right? So dollar, I'm worried that if the dollar comes back up to these levels, this particular high here, if the dollar for whatever reason starts to shoot up, right, down here, right, sorry, my bad, here, if the dollar starts to shoot up this way, dollar is screwed. Dollar is absolutely screwed. Now, if this happens, this is what I wanted to tell you. If this happens, then what you will notice is BTC would suffer a little bit. The price of BTC will also suffer a little bit. You're probably wondering, what the hell is he talking about? Hold on. If this goes up like this, Why would BTC suffer? Wouldn't people be dumping their dollars and jumping onto BTC? Yes. But what are they going to be using to dump their dollars? They're going to be using dollars. That's the problem. Does that make sense to you? They're going to be using dollars. And guess what? We're going to have an effect where, people start dumping, dollar shoots up, more people come in and say, oh, hold on, we need to start dumping. More people dump, and then you have this cascading effect where everybody's dumping, and the more they dump, the more this dies. Well, what are these US guys are going to do? You're going to think they're going to just sit on on BTC? Well, they need to feed themselves. They need to eat. They need to drink, right? So what are they going to do then? These are the questions I'm asking myself. Allah Ahmad, what happened to the Hubi market? Nothing much. Hubi's been around for a very long time. I think Hubi's been around for a very long time. It's probably definitely going to survive. But it's one of those, it's a low, low volume exchange. I mean, once upon a time, it was very, very big, actually. Binance actually kind of destroyed it. Binance destroyed the volume, right? And I'm talking about volume, not the exchange. Kraken, so that used to be a top-notch, it's one of the oldest cryptocurrency exchanges. Hubi was, or Huobi, they like to call it, is one of the old ones as well. Many others, their volume just died. So what they're doing is they've limited their servers, obviously, and how many API calls you can do. So a lot of the time, what happens is when people are buying and selling, or when mega trades are happening, they suffer. In fact, if I'm correct, from some of the information I've got from some of the ventures that I've been involved with, Huobi is, well, yes, technically sometimes Huobi is borrowing liquidity from what do you call this, from Binance. And no, BTC has nothing to do with that. Listen, let's not go into these FUD, right? It's got nothing to do with Huobi, right? BTC going down because of Huobi, that's just nonsense, right? That's just absolute nonsense. The reason I'm saying this, and don't take this the wrong way, right? This is there's a factor here that we need to look at when we're talking about these stuff, right? And the fact is very simple. Right, the fact is very simple. BTC came down, right? And this is it. BTC came down on this particular candle, That had nothing to do with Huobi today, if that makes sense to you. So BTC, from the technicals, everything is pointing that it wants to come down even more, right? Everything is pointing it wants to come down even more, right? And when we start talking about everything, we talk about everything. So for example, when we start talking about let's do 50-day moving average, let's do moving average here, let's do higher low, right? And let's do Viper, right? So all of that will tell you where we are right now. And actually I got one more left. Let me activate that. No, it's not there, so that's fine. So all of this is indicating that, look, all these moving averages, everything is indicating that we are below already. So this is what's going on. I wouldn't say Huobi is doing anything, or something, whatever. That's just unnecessary FUD. And when you start looking at those kind of things, and you start looking at news, or whoever's been pumping it to you, right, it's all there to confuse you. Don't be confused. It is what it is. Look, when we look at this chart, right, when I start switching off all of this, I'm going to switch off some of these. I'm going to switch off this, I'm going to switch off this, and I'm going to switch off this, and actually this as well, right? I'm just going to leave the EMA, right? And when we start going here, right, there's no noise on this chart anymore. All the noise has been taken away, right? So only things you got is the stochastic, sorry, not the stochastic. You got the 21-day moving average, which is the light blue. And then you've got the purple line on the top, which is the 50 EMA. And then this is where the market is. This is absolutely no noise. Even on the weekly, there's no noise on this market. Can you see this? There's absolutely nothing here. We are already in a very bad situation, all right, since we came, actually, no, let me draw this. Since we did this, right, since we came below this particular zone, right, this particular zone, and then you can see we're here. So these two areas, these two peaks, right? So when you look at this, this was the peak. This is where we were supposed to find a support. When we went below this, we already became in a bit of a trouble. We're already in, a bit of a situation, right? This is no noise in this market, absolutely zero noise. So, yeah, none of those FUD, they don't bother me at all. They don't bother me. We just look at the facts, guys. We just look at the facts, right? The fact is that, look, we've got this lovely, lovely area here. You know, we've got these 3 peaks here, and we've got, yeah, 3 peaks. Actually, no, we've got 1 peak, 2, 3 peak, 4 peak here. We've got 4 peaks here, and we also have a peak here, a peak here, and a peak here, which acts as a support. Remember, when you break resistance, you become support. So now these are support. So we got multiple supports here, and we got multiple resistance here, which were broken at this particular level here. This is our, so let's put it this way. This is going to be nice, right? So let's put this zone here. This is the one zone, the only zone that we don't know what the market's going to do, right? This is the only area we don't know what the market's going to do. So we know that as a potential, this market could come up here. This we know that we're going to hold support. This we know we're going to hold, like right now where we are, we're holding resistance in this particular zone. This is a resistance area, right? But when it comes to this area here, we know we got support, and I just activated something just to kind of show you. So you can see this blue line here. In fact, this is brilliant. So this blue line here is showing us, right? Here we go. This very fine blue line here. I'll move it down to a lower time frame. You'll probably see a bigger data, right? So this is also showing us that, look, this could be our, and this is SRC is activated, which is the support resistance clusters. It shows you where the best support zones are, where the resistance zones are. This is on a 3-day, this is on a 5-day, and look, wow, look, bang on, exactly where that line was drawn. Exactly where this box was drawn. This is the area to play. This is where we are going to play the new game, the new BTC game, or we may not. But whatever the case is, guys, remember, if you're below a previous bull run price, it doesn't mean the game's over. The only time BTC game can ever be over, and I say this over and over again, is if you switch the internet off permanently. If Starlink, Tesla's Starlink, Elon Musk's Starlink, has total domination control over the global internet, and he decides to IP block every single Bitcoin node, then yes, it's the end of BTC. And think about it, maybe that's the reason why billions and billions and billions, if not trillions, are being pumped into Starlink. That's some food for your mind, right? But look, anything's probably, as I said, unless you switch off the internet. And by the way, guys, this thing is still loading, right? So sorry, I can't do anything. I don't know why it's not starting. And what the hell is it doing that for? Let me quit. Let's try and bring it up again. Oh, I think it's loading now. I think something's happening now. Did it happen? Yes! Get rid of all of that. Yes! Forget all of that. Where are we? No! Yes! No! Yes! Oh, yes! Dismiss scan. Right, so this is a chart we're going to show. And my brother's pumping, he's pumping out loads of charts. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. Right, let's try and see if I can make this larger. Can I make it larger? It won't be larger. Okay, anyway, it doesn't matter. But so what I was showing you was, well, I'm going to zoom into this now. So he's got the fibs there, which is fine. His fibs are showing you what the potential for the ups are. His fibs are also showing you what the potential are for the downside, and then where we are right now. So it's perfect. He's playing the ABC pattern, the Elliott wave as well. He's got everything there. From my opinion, I mean, I'm going to look at the mobile as well. It looks great. This is what I'm getting, and I'm just a newbie on wave count, just learning. You're doing all right, you know. Don't say you're a newbie. From what you're doing there, you're using the right tools at the right time, in my opinion, and that's what matters, because a lot of people don't use the tools. You know what I mean? So you got to use the tools. It's there. Like you probably notice. Look at my chart. I'm not using all the tools in the world. These indicators that I've activated, what are they? They're momentum indicators. I'm looking for my higher highs, lower lows. That's it. I'm looking at a moving average, nothing more. You know, when I'm doing this, I'm using somebody else's indicator, but that's because he has the 50-day and the 200-day already there. That's the only reason why I'm using his indicator. I just need something that has it. I'm using an EMA. right? Which has my 50 exponential moving and my 21-day exponential moving, which I can also adjust. As you can see, most of them are switched off. Right, here you go. Some of them are switched off. I've only got 2 there. So this is my 29-day, this is my 100-day, this is my 200, but I don't need those. They're not relevant to me right now. What's more relevant is my closest time frame, which is the 21 and 50 right now. As we progress, and if we enter a bull market, then I will activate my 50, then I will activate my 200. Sorry, my 100 and my my 100 and my 200. Does that make sense to you? So, when it's relevant, we use those. But other than that, I don't need any of these. We don't need any of these. SRC is just easy, just shows me where the support resistance clusters are. I don't have to do this drawing. Right? It will do it for me. Does that make sense, right? So as I move through the time frames, it will show me that on a specific time frame, these are the potentials, but it's showing me where those levels are, right? So when I look at 2 week, for example, it's not even showing it here because it's too much data. But when you start moving down the smaller time frames, you can see, look guys, there are significant data here to tell us where we are, So yeah, I'm happy with what I'm seeing, but all I wanted to do is make sure you guys understand that, look guys, every time there's great fear in this market, absolute definite great fear, the blood, right? Blood on the streets, right? That's when the market will tend to reverse. When everybody's moving one direction, when there's absolute fear, when there's no trust, and when all the news and everything explodes. And I said this so many times, that when you hear all the news talk about it, how bad it is, that's when you enter. That's the signal. And that's what's been happening right now. Free energy. Not only the internet, they'd have to stop both internet and electricity in the whole world in order to stop what you see. No, not entirely. Internet is actually the only thing. So if they can cut the internet connection coming from space, then they will. Because fiber optic, what they've realized is fiber optic is easy. Right, you can go in the middle of the ocean and cut fiber optics and actually disconnect countries from countries. That's the easy part, right? So you lose internet. Local servers, so you'll have to nuke it and do some EMP to get rid of local servers, because people can actually create a local internet service. I can actually have a local network where we can actually talk to each other via our own network without any phone connection, without any satellite link, absolutely nothing. Computer to computer, a complete internal system. We can do this, right? But with the global internet system, the way we have it, and with all the nodes, hundreds and hundreds of nodes that we have, I'm talking about Bitcoin mining nodes, right? Or Bitcoin, what's it called? Mining centers, right? Sorry, just tired. Mining centers. There's thousands all over the globe, right? Some of them are in basements, some of them are everywhere, but there are some in space as well. In fact, one is in space. But I'm ignoring that one, blockstream one. I'm ignoring that one. What I'm trying to say is, internet itself, the bigger agenda is to take internet away from ground, away from under the ocean. So, and the excuse that is given to us is security, right? But technically, the internet services we have right now is actually more decentralized than what's about to happen if Starlink takes over. So if Elon takes over the entire global internet system, he's in control. You're giving the whole world's internet to one man's hand if that happens. And of course, listen, I love him to bits, right? I'm not against him. This is not a conspiracy, but just giving you my point of view. Understand this, that if, for global safety and for the safety of everybody, so that nobody can nuke it or nobody can do EMPs or whatever, and you take away all that hardware and you just have some mini satellites over there, thousands and thousands, 60,000 or whatever satellites up there, providing you with fast, stable, right? 5G speeds or more. Think about it. So, but if somebody decides to choose specific things and say, well, we want to block this, we want to block that, because it's been happening, by the way, censoring does happen even now. Certain websites will not show up. Google will censor many websites and they will not even come up on a search engine, right? And we can go into the conspiracy part of things, but there is loads going on, as I said. Yeah, it's a different story, And also, I talked about Ethereum as well. Look, guys, Ethereum, end of the day, I'm very bullish on Ethereum. And there's a reason behind why I'm bullish on Ethereum. I mentioned this as well. I said, guys, if Ethereum, and this is on a, let's put it on a weekly, guys. This will make total sense to you. On a weekly, Ethereum's bottom's here. So this current cycle bottom is here, Ethereum's, right? And when you look at BTC, you see BTC's bottom was here and we broke through. So BTC is definitely leading in the bearish situation, right? BTC has become a freaking bear, but it's a good sign because now it's about to reverse, right? When it comes to Ethereum, I mentioned something. I said, guys, if Ethereum falls below its current low, so its current lower low, if it falls below this level, this bear market is going to continue for another 6 months, maybe even another year, right? If Ethereum doesn't come and touch this area and instead shoots up, I think every time BTC does 1% move up, Ethereum's going to do 2% move up, because Ethereum's been kind of leading and holding this market right now. And also one of the other things Ethereum's been doing is, if you look at the facts, just the facts on the chart, it's actually started to come into the zone. It did fall below. Just fell below, but that's because the entire market. But it's been building a structure, and we can even adjust this structure right now. We can bring it down to where it is right now. It's building a structure where it's telling me it will probably try this. I'll change the color in a bit. Try this, and then it's going to try and break out. So we are going to see a breakout, and I've got a feeling Ethereum's going to lead this breakout, and it should be very, very interesting when it does. Which coin is good to catch in the deep? So I like Imad. I don't Imad. I'll call you Imad. What we don't do here is, I do not hype coins. I'm not your average channel. You will not find me pumping coins and doing this and that. I do not do that. That is completely something I am against. I always say, find a coin that you like. Do your own research. If you want me to do some research, I will happily do it for you. You want my opinion, I will give you my opinion. But I'm not the top channels out there who actually only do videos every single day. Some of them do 5 times a day. Believe me, I know they do 5 times a day. There's only one reason behind that. They need to earn from that. That's their bread and butter. People need to donate some money to them, because if they don't, they can't survive. These guys, believe me, that I feel sorry for them, you know. So that's what it is, and this is one of the reasons why they got to make sure it's all interesting. Of course, they're making a lot of money out of it, but that's because they have to make it interesting. They have to make it fun for you. They have to do it every day. It's their job. It's their job. You know, think about it like this, right? YouTube has a CEO, right? He's probably being paid millions, right? He has to go to work every day. And these guys are CEOs of their own channel. They have to go to work every day. When it comes to me, I don't do it every single day. I do it whenever I feel like it. There's no schedule. There's nothing whatsoever. And yeah, just talk straight, basically. You like Ripple. That's fine. If you like Ripple, you should pick up some Ripple, and you should stick to those Ripple. I'm not going to say anything here, but most of the community know that I don't hold any Ripple at all, because I don't see any reason why I should like them. I see 2 founders, or a couple of founders, who started a company. Actually, it was 3 of them who started a company. They already fell out, so Ripple already had a problem, which then became Ripple and Stellar. So one company branched out into 2 companies, so that's already a problem. Then the problem was off. Stellar's fine, it's stable. One man's running the show there. And then you've got 2 guys running the show here. And then it seems like they hold majority of the coins, right? So for me, any founder that holds, right, anything more than 20%, 15, 20%, that's a problem. Any founder of any project holding more than, 15 to 20 is like the max limit. I got a problem with that project. I don't have faith in that project anymore. It could pump to the moon. It could go to $100 tomorrow, and I still won't buy a single one, just because of those fundamental facts. Remember, we came into crypto because we heard about Bitcoin. When people talk about crypto and you say, oh, did you hear about that crypto? They'll be like, what's that? Oh, Bitcoin. They know Bitcoin. They don't know Solana. They don't know Amazon. They don't know Ripple. They don't know none of that business. It doesn't matter how much they flash in the news. They don't know what that is. But you tell them Bitcoin, they know that's crypto. So remember, the identity of crypto was created by Bitcoin. And if you go back to the basics of Bitcoin, Satoshi Nakamoto created it. He mined close to I think it was 1 million tokens. He never took it. It's still there in his wallet. I think there's close to 4 or 5 million tokens are there, but it's there. Think about that. That's such a powerful thing. That here's a person who created something who knew that it could change everything. And for me, it looks like, it was based on so many different things, but they didn't take it. That's something else. And then you got these guys in Ripple with God knows how many billion tokens, right? And then they dump it. Every time the market goes up, they sell it. And they sell it and they make money. And this is what SEC was after. Of course, SEC is a big scam. So let's get this right. SEC is a big scam. So, but they're picking and choosing. I'm sure someone's probably paid them to go and, pick on XRP. Or XRP is probably just doing it for fun with them. I don't know. Could be a whole conspiracy behind it. I don't know. But what I do know is the XRP founders had a lot of coins and they sold at the top of the market to their users. So people are holding bags while they made money. Did they compensate anybody? No. So I disagree with them. So this is what I'm going to say. But right now, look, yes, it's come down to a low price. It was even lower back last season. It was even lower. It was even cheaper. Even then, I didn't pick it up. So this is just me. I don't just randomly go and pick up anything. And when I do pick up something, if I make a little bit of money, I'm out. I took my initial out. So then I don't really care what it does, if that makes sense. Yeah. But yeah, as I said, always stick to the top guns. I mean, XRP technically is a top gun, so that's not a problem. Stick to the top ones. But when you see the market bleed, and I can tell you this is not a financial advice. I can tell you this. Next season, when the market pumps, XRP will pump. I can tell you this from now. Definitely XRP will pump. If you bought XRP today or within the next I would say within the next 6 weeks. So anybody buys anything within the next 6 weeks, right? You're going to hodl for a little bit, but when this market pumps, you will make the most amount of gains in the entire season that is coming in the future. That I can assure you. And I'm not a financial advisor, so remember that. So yes, it doesn't matter what you pick up. Because remember, when you look at the total market cap, you can understand where we are right now. The total market cap's bleeding. The entire market cap's bleeding, right? If you don't understand where we are right now, then I don't know. Because what I'm seeing is when this freaking market moves, and this is just the hypothetical number, guys. This has got nothing to do with what is going to do. So we're just looking at from this support, you can see highlighted in this aqua, to this purple, which is the resistance, the major resistance, because we've got more resistance here, but we're talking about major resistance. That's a 295% guaranteed. 300% guaranteed. So if you bought it now, say for example, you bought a Ripple for 20 cents or 30 cents, that's guaranteed $1. Happy days. So yeah, I wouldn't be concerned, as I said, but always best to do is pick a few coins. Don't, fill up your basket with everything, because that diversification is good. But diversification into a million different things isn't the right thing to do, because you lose track. Okay. And always remember, only invest what you can afford to lose. So if you think you can only afford to lose tenner, it's absolutely fine. Just invest a tenner. If you think you can invest 100, then only invest 100, but never ever invest more than you can afford to lose or you can afford to burn right now. If you can burn it right now, very well, you can invest it. You do not invest money that you need for tomorrow. You need next month. You need in the next 6 months, in the next year. You do not invest that money, right? Right now, cost of living going up and this and that. Focus on that. Right? Don't focus on crypto. It's not important, right? What's important is you make sure that you have a good life. You feed yourself, you pay your rent, you pay your bills, you look after your families. Those are priorities. Crypto, when you invest in crypto or any investment, by the way, this is not crypto specific, any investments on this planet, whatever you decide to invest into, right? Remember, you only invest money you don't need. You invest excess money. This is why big portfolio managers, massive investors out there will always only invest 1 to 5% of their total net worth. Do you understand what that means? He's worth $1 million. He's only going to invest a total of 1 to 5%, because that he can afford to lose. Think about that. And those little ones, they do make you a shit ton of money, by the way. Raki, those YouTubers are worse and it drain your energy. All I suggest, just follow my guy Sham, who comes on self in a blue moon. Once in a blue moon to talk about facts and focus on other stuff. Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you very much, bro. Honestly, but no, that's what it is. I do come once in a blue moon. But there's a reason why I come once in a blue moon, because I expect you to take this data, take this info, because I'm doing it in detail. I'm not timed. I can do this all day long. And I'm doing this so you can take this back and you can say, this is what I'm seeing. You can take a screenshot of this. I'll even share the charts with you. That's not a problem. Take this info and say, well, this is what I've got. This is what I'm seeing. This is what this guy sees. And these are the potential, the possibilities. These are the minimum levels that we're expecting. A minimum 300%, we're expecting that, right? Because we're not just doing things based on fact. Obviously, we're looking at facts and we are also hypothesizing where we are, right? We're also looking at trends and other patterns that we have seen in the past. And we're saying, well, look, if this is a pattern that we've seen, does it continue? You know, we're looking at continuous patterns as well, right? There's more patterns as well, right? When you start looking at certain things, for example, where we were, you know, certain patterns constantly show up. Like, for example, if we did, I know the Bitcoin, the chart is now broken. What's it called? The logarithmic chart is now broken, but I wouldn't bother too much about it because we did fall below the logarithmic. But you know, we can add these patterns anywhere. Ultimately, I'm still trending up. So the trend is your friend until the end. And so far, this trend has not been broken. This trend, the BTC trend, when I would be worried, as I said, if it goes below, and it's clearly marked here as well, guys. Look, if you look carefully, right, even the support resistance cluster is actually showing you. Should be concerned. If we fall below 3,000, be concerned, because that is a complete trend reversal. Bitcoin goes to shit and that's it. Literally, it goes to shits and that's it. And yeah, this is when I'm done. So that will be when I am done, right? You know, but you know, it's one of those, because I know a lot of you guys, right? And you know, no disrespect to anybody, right? As I said, I'm not here to hype anything. I'm not here to say, guys, we're going to the moon tomorrow. We're going to 150K. Forget all of that. Forget all of that. All I'm going to say is, think about it this way. I've taken aside, you know, I earn $100. I've taken aside $10 of my $100. $90 is for my living expense and my life and everything. $10, that's all I've taken, 10% of my money. And I've just put it in a savings account. And my savings account happens to be crypto. But for 5 years, not for 5 days, not for 5 weeks, not for 5 months, 5 years minimum. After 5 years, I'm going to come out, whatever the case is. And of course, if I've made significant amount of gains, I will come out earlier, right? So that's how I'm going to treat it, right? It's very simple. That's how I'm going to treat it. All learn from you since I follow the market is not going to 67 in overnight. Of course. Listen, nothing happens overnight. Things change. A lot of things have changed for us. Some of the patterns, some of the things we've had in this market, they have changed, right? A lot of technicals have been broken, right? In fact, when we look at this, let's just do this. Let me delete all of this. Give me a second. And let me just kill this as well. I don't need this, right? Let's kill it. So we've just got a plain chart here. We'll go back onto the candles. We've got a plain chart here, nothing else here. And we're just going to look at technicals, right? So when we look at certain technicals, even technicals are broken, right? Because technically we should not be here. Does that make sense, right? Technically we should not be here. So if we take it from the bottom of this market, right? I'm going to zoom in here a little bit as well, because it's really nice for me to show you what I'm about to show you. Okay, so let's zoom in. All right, actually let's get rid of this. Just keep this chart here. So technically where we are right now, so if we take it from the bottom of the market to where this is, where that top is, right, technically we shouldn't be even holding this. Look, we're at the 786 level, right? This is the 0786 level. We broke the 786 level. We got a problem, guys. If we broke the 786 level, there's a few missing, obviously. And let me actually help you guys out, because I do have them. A lot of Hold on, a lot of coordinates have been switched off. 1 second, my bad. There we are. Not this. Oh, there they are. Look, guys, I've switched off a lot of these, right? If I switch them all back on, then you will see so many different lines. It will make total sense to you what I'm seeing. So I just got to make sure I do not save this, right? So now that we got all of this, right, we're going to activate another one, and I'll show you what I mean. So now things change, right? Now you get all of these other levels and other lines, all these other stuff popping out. Oh, what the hell? Right, you get all of these other stuff popping up, right? So this is what we've got here. Things start to become very, very crazy. Things start to become very, very crazy, right? So, you know, this range here, yeah, we should be going down. We should be going down. Really, really going down. So crazy stuff happening. My phone's about to die. I had fall asleep from those YouTubers, and now I would be like, screw that, just buy if I kind of just leave it for good. Pretty much, yeah, that's it. You know, it's not about, how would I say it? Listen, as I said, this is, I'm not against any YouTuber, right? Let's get this one thing correct, right? I love some YouTubers. There are some really good characters out there. There are some that make me laugh. There are some that are very serious, which give me facts. There are some I just watch for entertainment, and I have absolutely no issues with anybody. The only thing I'm trying to say is understand, when it comes to this channel and other channels, there's a massive fundamental gap. The gap is they do it to earn money. I don't do it to earn money. Does that make sense? I do YouTube to give you info when it's relevant, when I have time. They do YouTube to earn money. Does that make sense? Earn money, take that money, show you the money, hype up more, make more money, right? So it's a tough one. Remember this, okay? Chaos says, thanks, bro. Absolutely. And I'm going to say thank you to all of you as well, because I don't know how long I've been going for. I can go on forever, but my throat is drying up. But it's been fantastic. But listen, guys, I just wanted you guys to understand that I've got this weird feeling that if anything happens to dollar, right, and this is what I really wanted to talk about, right? If anything crazy happens to dollar, just be very cautious, because, as I said, this particular cascading effect that we can see here could potentially end up happening, where dollar could start shooting up and up and up, right? And when it does, and I'm only calculating it against the US dollars, you got to do it against your own currency. If the inflation, hyperinflation comes in, if mega taxation comes in, the more people exit, the more they dump, and then they've got nothing to go to, right? And it's like it's like a cascading effect, but at the same time, it's like a repetition, right? It's constant. The more you come out, the more dollars is accessible, and then you want to get back out. You're buying more dollars, but your dollars are worth less. It becomes a Zimbabwe situation, if that makes sense. So other than that, guys, thank you very much. Listen, it's been absolutely fantastic. I wasn't expecting so many people to come to the show. Thank you very much for coming to the show. And of course, there's a lot of links and this and that, guys. I haven't updated, right? Since the channel used to be SDCrypto, or I think we had another name recently, right? But since that, I haven't really changed anything yet. I just haven't had the time to. That's how lazy I've become. In fact, I didn't even have a laptop with me for a long time. I just locked it up. Couldn't be bothered since I went on holiday. But as I said, I've been busy doing one thing, and that's what everybody should have been doing. Whether they've done it or not, it's a different story. I've completely disconnected myself. So in the last few months, I disconnected myself. I went out, I worked my backside off, right? 2, 3, even 4 jobs at one stage, so I can rake in enough cash so I can re-enter the market with a nice big packet, so I can make the most the next season. That's all it was. I want to make as much as possible. And I'm talking about profits. I'm talking about gains. Because if I'm not in it, I can't win it, right? Does that make sense, right? So I've got to be in it at the right time. And then, of course, like 2019, I'm going to be telling everyone, guys, I got in here. while everybody else is going to get confirmation around this level, and then they're going to move in. And as I said, guys, I'm not your financial advisor, so please do not take any of this as financial advice. And remember, I don't do hype or pump and dump or hyping on crypto. So, you know, you're not going to get any of that. But as I said, I will happily talk about cryptocurrency and talk about my own views, my personal opinions on them. But I always stick to Bitcoin. It's the only #1 coin for me. It's the only cryptocurrency for me. Everything else is an altcoin and a shitcoin, full stop, right? So on that note, like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you on another one. Yeah, adios, my amigos. Thank you very much for coming to the show. And it's been a pleasure. Thank you. And we'll catch up very soon. And hopefully, I mean, some of you guys on Discord, continue sharing info on Discord, because I know the community is a bit quiet since I've been quiet. But guys, you don't have to. Continue without me, no problem. I'm always there. I'm always reading, believe me. Adios, my amigos. Thank you.